Okay. We got stuff to do.
Poggers.
We don't have a ton of time either. Thanks for the follow. Hiya! I kind of want to upgrade the blue on him. I just can't remember if Techless Blue is where I ended it the first time. Push them back. The Canoptic Circle is done. So I just got to get that to my buddy. As we continue to struggle forward with the Chaos Raptors. Might need a different wet palette frickin' component. Alright, let's try this. See if it looks brighter. It's a little bit brighter. I don't know if it's like bright enough though. Because the question is, did I actually, was this originally Techless Blue and I'm just building up the layer? I think that might actually be the case. Because it doesn't, genuinely, it doesn't feel too much brighter. At which point, I don't know. I don't want it to be Baharoth. Maybe Lothran. But we have to go real light with the Lothran. But yeah. As it says in the title. I have a tournament tomorrow. And up until literally yesterday, I was sitting thinking, oh, I'm going to play Infernal Lance. That's what I'm going to play. I'm going to play Infernal Lance. Then I was sitting around, just staring at my lists. And I eventually came to a place where I was like, nah, we're going to play my EC. We're not playing Coterie EC. That'll throw it off for some people. We're playing Carnival EC, and I am using Fulgrim, knowing full well that that is a bad idea. I think this is completely dry, actually. This is why I hate Citadel paints. I wonder if we'll have a decent blue in Army Painter. Void Shell. Let's change the wet palette paper. This is all the old Canoptic Court stuff. So to my understanding, one of the best players that uses EC, specifically he uses Coterie, so it's a little different than Carnival. His hyper focus is on the potential for basically getting to turn 3 and being behind by like 10, 15 points and then turning it around. I don't know if Carnival can do that. And I can't say that I'm the most patient person when it comes to strategy. So there's a very real possibility that I'm gonna use my go turn as like turn 2 every time, when I really need to not do that. This is truly like a highlight color. You can't really go too hard with it. Kind of just the edge of the brush and a little bit of stippling. Yeah, this is definitely something I wanted to do. Because the blue has not been that great. Where the hell is the, No. I had a soap cup in here somewhere. Oh, I know. So I gotta fix these bristles. Okay, soap cup not where I thought it was. No, I'm not ready. I've been running weird strategies in my head, though. Based around Carnival. Like, okay, one of my Demon Princes has the item that gives it the ability to target a unit within 6 inches of it for a free heroic intervention. So, my idea for setup is that 2 Demonette squads are in reserve, and maybe 1 Noise Marine squad. And that'll be that. Maybe Fulgrim, depending. Because he's hard to bring in from Deep Strike. Since his base is basically 6 inches across. It's not good. But the idea becomes, when my demons go, I'm supposed to bring my demonettes within range of them, but keep them kind of safe. So that, specifically into the one that has the free heroic intervention, if you charge a demon prince there to be like, haha, I can pull the demonettes in for free, and they have fights first, so hopefully they chip you down a bit. Yeah, I'm running Fulgrim. So what you're supposed to do is you either run Fulgrim or you run 2 Mauler Fiends. That's it. That's the difference. You either run Fulgrim or you run 2 Mauler Fiends. I don't have the Mauler Fiends. So a lot of my list building is based around the idea that I don't have the stuff that I need, right? My Infernal Lance list works. It does. If I had Nurgle stuff. Like if I had 2 Nurgle beasts and some other Nurgle components. Like the Tzeentch demons that I have are the worst possible outcome of owning demons as allies. Because it's either Nurgle or it's... I think Bloodletters are supposed to be pretty good too. But if you go Tzeentch, the only thing you can do is try to get to the point where you're using a changeling, and that's it. And that's kind of expensive. Where the hell is my soap cup? Well, no, the Nurglings you're supposed to scout up so that people can't pressure you. Or not scout, but infiltrate up so people can't pressure you and they have to shoot you off point. Also, they can't own points because they have 0 OC. So the trick is, if somebody gets an early game overwhelming force, they can't get it because your only things that are on the objectives making people annoyed have no OC. Oh, there's a box of Nurglings at the one store near me, and I know Warhammer, the store near you, has a box of Nurglings. I've seen it. The beasts are actually the problem, technically. There's no beast local, and they might be purchasable still, but like I feel like a lot of lists are starting to go like, yeah, they're meta, which means they're going to be sold out soon. Where the hell is this cup? I'm just going to put soap in the corner of my wet palette. Pink stuff. Oh, Fat Man's. Just buy the Grotmas or the Grot mounted soldiers, and then shrink the mounted Grots without the goblins on their backs down to single bases. You just do Grot balls. No, yeah. If they get nerfed, and then I just have Nurglings and Beasts of Nurgle for no reason, just sitting in my room. I tried to match the potential with Blue Horrors and a small squad of Flamers, but, like, it doesn't work. Blue Horrors get Infiltrate, that's cool, and they have 1 OC, so they can hold stuff, but that actually works in their detriment a little bit. Kind of sucks. I think my EC will do better. I'll probably keep a lot of the scores closer. I want to say my plan right now is to shove my Tormentors onto the expansion point early. That way they can sticky it. And then I'm going to run them back to my home base over the course of 2 turns. I think that's the way to go with them. Because I do have a scouting rhino that I want to threaten mid with. We'll see. I'm not expecting good things. EC is already so hard to play. Thankfully, in the current process, one of the best players of EC plays Coterie, and that detachment has a 50% win rate. And my detachment has a bunch of people who not a lot of people know playing it, and it has a 40% win rate. So there's something to that. It's like a 46% win rate. If the detachment that you're playing has a bunch of people you've never heard of playing it, and they're kind of doing okay, not like the best, but still kind of okay, I feel like there's something there of like, oh, that's not so bad. Granted, I'm pretty sure none of them use Fulgrim, so I'm already kind of under on that one. That's a wire that I didn't notice the first time I painted these. Speaking of which, the meta lists are out. And for both the Black Templar as well as the Blood Angels, the Gladius detachment is like a 70% win rate. They really cooked with that Gladius detachment. For it to be still one of the strongest. Well, the detachment Max is running, I think, has a 40% win rate right now. And a lot of the people who play competitively are saying that the detachments that Black Templar have access to have a lot of play. Like, there's a lot of value in them. It's just people don't use them because Gladius is easy. I mean, everyone's been playing Gladius since the beginning of the game. So, like, you don't have to think anymore. You just kind of go. Wash, rinse, repeat with better statted units. Yeah, Iconoclast is one of the better Knights lists. I don't have the models for that. I was thinking War Dogs, the full War Dog, which I still don't have the full War Dogs list either. But I figured the War Dogs one would do just as well. Because it circumvents the need for bodies, but that, dude, the War Dog list is doing worse than like every other list in the game. Probably because there's not a lot of people playing it and they might not be that good. I think it's only like 2 people that were accounted for with that list. And they got like a 30% win rate or something. How I'm dealing with an 18-man squad? Well, I'm putting a Rhino on a point. So he's going to need to burn something to kill a rhino, which is probably a really big squad of people. Or is this... Are we talking about something different? Because it's kind of the trick with me. I have to play more patient with this list. Because the goal is to put a person into a situation where they're going to have to take 2 turns of shooting from my Noise Marines. To really, like, clear a lot of their junk. Oh, with leaders? What? Okay, so what's the statting on the leaders? Like, if that's the scary unit and they have, like, leaders... I'm playing Emperor's Children. I kill leaders. So if their leaders are the things that make that unit really scary, I'm going to kill that leader. That tends to be my goal in games. Because I'll either hand Fulgrim Precision, or I'll just use one of my units that comes with Precision. So Fatman's, the Tzeentch detachment for Chaos Demons uses 2 Soul Grinders. The only reason I didn't buy them is because I was thinking of getting one, at least 1 if not 2. And around the time I was thinking about it, people were like, they're gonna get legended here in a minute. And they're still not legended. So like, I'm still kind of scared, but also kind of pissed that like I was told they're getting legended and they're not. Like, in any level of immediacy. But yeah, you use Soul Grinders in the Tzeentch detachment because Tzeentch can uppy downy 2 units within combat of enemies, and the Soul Grinders are included. So you just uppy downy Soul Grinders all day long. 2 of them. Yeah, I feel like I'm doing the community a service by not buying them, because if I did, they'd be gone. So we're doing good here. We're doing the Lord's work. So you don't want to play Ultramarines, Ran, because of the Calgar tax? We gotta buy Calgar every year. Yes. Go with the unit you can't take to 2K tournaments normally. For funsies. That is 100% the play. Alright, let me do the plasma weaponry and the power weaponry, I think. Let's get them started. There it is. Black Templar have a Blood Surge maneuver. It's just with one of their leaders, right? Halbricht or whoever. Let's get these plasmas going. So the way it would work for me in the Victrix with my Carnival list is that the Victrix would be in front of my Demonettes. My Demonettes have built-in fights first. So I would want to shred one as much as humanly possible in shooting. Which, if you're surviving as a infantry unit, Emperor's Children, Noise Marines. Like, the game is already yours. This is how that's gonna work. But then, if you're going to Blood Surge, you're Blood Surging into a Fights First, Sustained, and Dev Wound squad that's actually spec'd to be, like, basic tier Space Marines, but with, like, AP. So they do have a decent shot at finishing that squad up. So 2+ save down to a 3+, but they're also dealing with Dev Wounds. And a sustain on 6 for that squad. Not the best of chances, but still. Not the worst. What color power weapon do we want to do with these guys? They've got the green flame, so I don't want to do green power weapons. They got kind of like a red-orange piping, and then they have blue armor. So do we lean into like pink magenta weaponry for power? Probably. But yeah, I gotta get better with the tactics and strategy, though. There's ways for this Emperor's Children list to, like, skyrocket and slingshot its people. And I need to start thinking of ways to do that. But if I really start thinking about it, I'm gonna have the issue of I'm gonna want to try it at every possible turn. To the point where I'm gonna put myself into a very bad strategic spot to do it. And then I'm just kind of screwed. Because the main goal would be to charge someone with a Demon Prince with wings. Mortal them down just enough that there's probably only like a guy or two left. Also charge with the Demonettes. Have the Demonettes fight. And then kill the unit. Pay a command point allowing the Demon Prince with wings to charge again into something else, also triggering the mortal wounds on charge. Like, it's such a cool idea, and I know I'm gonna, like, hyper focus in on it while I'm playing, and it's gonna screw me over. Thinking lava? That would just be yellow to orange, which, yeah, I mean, I could do that. It feels kind of Halloween-y. I was debating doing orange as like the armor plates for the weapons, but I'm still not 100% sold on that. But yeah, man, I don't know if you were around yesterday when I finished them up. Just varnished them. Super fun. You were getting it on at work? Do they know? You're gonna get a call from HR, bro. I don't know if my stream is the place you should be revealing HR violations. I mean, thank you for the content, but... Hopefully I can make it out next week. I'm not 100% sure when I'll be able to get there. I think the big one that I'm mostly planning for is the year-end one. Because I think you have, like, what, 2 weeks off? Or is this literally it? Is this, like, your week? Or do you not... Did you have another one at the end of the year? 'Cause, like, that's the one I can probably really pull off. Just this one... Just this next week? And the week leading up to New Year's. I think that's the one that we were probably going to be able to pull off. When you say week leading up to New Year, are you talking like the 27th through like the 1st and then you're back or something? 29 to 2. That's the week I could probably do. The 29 to 2. I don't know if I'll be able to do the 8 to 12. I can probably swing down like a day or two every now and then. Depending on, like, is everyone else going to be there for that week? Because I know you're just trying to, like, get your days in that don't really roll over. So if, like, a bunch of people are showing up and we're going to game, I could probably swing down. At the very least, maybe, like, Friday, Saturday. Yeah, that's the one we could probably do. So we could do a board game. I feel like I'm going to be hyper burned out after this tournament. I'm going to spend most of tonight after my little chore just staring at my rules. I'm aware no one can plan shit. They're my friends too, bro. None of them can plan shit. Do I want to do... Yeah, I want to do the color for the Melta. At the very least, though, next week, probably Friday, Saturday for me. Easy enough. I imagine worst case scenario, Jack will probably just decide to, like, show up every night and then just go to work from your place. I think he's done that before. Let's do the main barrel. Let's do the whole main barrel. So I think they just dropped a new Imperial Guard detachment, right? The IG players are talking about it being crazy good. They changed some stuff too. Apparently Commissars can lead Ogryn squads now. Yeah, we're in the Grotmus detachment calendar again. Faction Pack Astra Militarum. Grizzled Company. Add 1 to the number of orders. Yeah, they give 1 extra order to every squad. That's insane. Until from the start of the army is affected by an order, each time a model in that unit makes an attack, reroll a hit roll of 1. If the target of that attack is within a range of an objective, reroll a wound roll of 1 as well. So like rerolls and more orders. And apparently there's like ways around cover. Yeah, they have like an ignore cover function. It's insane. We've been talking in the local Discord for weeks about how there's a tournament tomorrow, and there's people still popping in like, what's happening tomorrow? Let's do this one. Plasma pistol, power weapon. Champion. So we're thinking volcanic a little bit. Okay. So we'll do the fluorescent orange, fluorescent chartreuse. We'll try to like quickly apply it as like a wet on wet mixing blend. And then we'll go in with, I want to say, my Necromancer Cloak to do the like kind of charring effect on some of the parts. It's I think a 45-minute drive to go to this tournament. I try to keep them within 30, but like occasionally it's 45. Now, it starts at 11. That's a key thing here. Because some of the tournaments I go to that are 30 minutes away from me are like, yo, dice hitting the table at like 8 or like 9:30 or something. And like that's why I only stick to like the half-hour distances. Because I work nights. And my sleep schedule is very attuned to nights. Not only that, but if I get the pre-tournament anxiety, I probably won't sleep for a few hours. I'll just lay there thinking of all my rules. Trying to go over and over and over in my head to make sure I don't forget them. Because, like, I'm already doing it. I know it's within 6 of each of the different factions, and the list that I'm bringing, it's sustained. If it already has sustained, it's sustained on 5s. I know the recharge function requires a demon squad to kill something to allow the Emperor's Children to a unit to recharge. I know that it's 2 CP to uppy a Demonette squad. I know that it's 1 CP to revive Demonettes in their squad if an Emperor's Children unit kills a unit within a certain range of them. Like, I'm already there. It's just like, oh, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, well, okay, so are yours RTTs or GTs? Because if yours is a GT and it's going to take 3 days and you've got those days, you could just get a hotel. Hopefully, if there's one in the area. But yeah, if it's RTTs and it's just a one-day thing, man, 2 hours. Unless you're like a morning person, that doesn't feel good. So let's see. Directions. Currently with traffic, 56 minutes. It's an hour. I'm not taking the toll road. Arrive tomorrow. I'm going to go 10:45. I have to leave at 9:50 tomorrow. That's perfectly fine. Okay, technically I have to leave at 9:40 tomorrow. It tried to make me go the toll route way, which according to this was 10 minutes longer than the non-toll route way. Okay, shorters. I'm probably gonna throw these brushes out already. Synthetic brushes that are worse than the ones I normally use. Let me just trim the straggler. Chartreuse and orange. Let's do it. Chartreuse. I think we'll go yellow-orange, not full orange. I feel like full orange might be too bright. We gotta be kind of quick with it. The assumption will be that it'll be brighter where the heat is more apparent. So on something like his sword, we assume that the heat comes from a power supply that's closer to the bottom. Quick. Just work backwards. Give it a little texture the closer to the back we get. That way there's at least a little yellow. Okay. It's a decent baseline. I think I have so flat chartreuse that we'll do some edge highlighting with. Let's just do it near the top, away from the inner edge. Close to the middle. Ah. Still got to update a lot of the blue highlights. Let it just naturally flow in. So we played that new game Routine last night. The space horror game. Pretty good. I don't know how far we are from the ending, but I do like where it's gone. I am gonna need to look at Fulgrim's like info again though, for just like his general combat stats. Make sure I have those in my back pocket. Let's do that now. I still find that I look at my phone too often. And I think it's because I really want to make sure that the numbers I'm saying are 100% right. So like his spit, 12-inch range, 6 attacks, sustain 1, so it goes on to sustain 5 on 5s. If he's near demonettes, hitting on 2s, 8, 2, 1. It's not the worst. It's great anti-Space Marine fodder. And then his blades, 6 attack on the big hit, which is just a d6 plus 1, which is way too swingy for tanks. Probably won't kill him. Again, sustain 2, 14, 3, which isn't the worst. 12, 2, 8, 2, 2. It's the big kind of anti-fodder attack. He gets his extra 6 attack. So it's literally 12s and 6s with him. It's just 12s and 6s. Mostly 6s. 12 if I go sweep. Always on 2s. And then his whole thing is he can, I think, he can go over 4-inch tall terrain. That's actually going to be a little important at this tournament because I know some of the terrain that's usually near the middle is only 4 inches in height. Which means he can just belt across that stuff. Opponent's command phase is for what he's going to be. It's going to be between -1 to hit and fights first. And then, of course, poison, which I'm going to have to track. I might need to bring tokens with me. I wonder if they'll have tokens. Like, I just want to buy a bag of, like, green gems. I can just put them next to stuff. Like, little green acrylic gem things. And then it's a T11. He's basically a knight. T11, save 2. 4-up invuln. 16 wounds. 16-inch move. That's all fine. Demonettes are save 5? Yeah, save 5. 3 attacks, 3, 4, 1, 1. They're not that bad. I do have to remember the forced battle shocks, though, at the top. It's important. Fractures, I gotta remember about the rerolls. No, yeah. KT tokens I use as battle shock. I just gotta remember to pack them. I have a bunch of, like, poison tokens for when I play my Plague Marines that I can start putting on stuff. It's a little purple heart with a green trim around it. So in Fractures, a full wound rerolls on objective, rerolls of 1s off objective. I gotta remember that. Lethal hits will be engaged with their leader. I'm doing the same loadout on each leader. It's the Spear Whip combo. Neither leaders have enhancements. They have a 1-off that allows them to increase their attacks by 3, their AP by 1, and I think their strength by 3? No, just attacks. It's attacks and then AP. And then it's lethal hits. And their big thing is 5 attacks from Phoenix, 4 attacks from Non. The Sigvald DP with wings is going to have the sword for +1 to his attack profiles. And then on top of that, it's +1 to damage and dev wounds and hazardous if I call it. Oh no, I went Warp Walker. Yeah, I'll stick with Warp Walker. I put Warp Walker on my DP with wings, so it gets a guaranteed 6 advance. I'm always torn between the Heroic Intervention, which requires a lot more positioning finesse, and then the 6-inch guaranteed advance, which, I mean, when you have that in the hands of a DP, that's a guaranteed, what, 18 inches of range? No. 20 inches. It's a guaranteed 20-inch move. And then it can never fail a desperate escape test. That's not bad. Noise Marines, it's basically heavy bolter fire for the little guys. 3 attacks, hitting on 3s. Strength 5, 2-2? No, Strength 5, 1-2. It's not 2-2 because it ignores cover. And then the big ones are either, what, 12? No, it's 6 or 3. That's the variance. 3 at 10-2-3 or 6 at 6-2-1. All 18-inch range. I have to remember these guys cause battle shock tests to go down by 1. So you paint a target with that. And then the Cacophonist forces them to take the battle shock. Only infantry, though. 3d6 on a 4, it's a mortal. I have to succeed in the mortals to force the battle shock. Cacos get grenades. Tormentors have grenades built in. Lord Exultant has grenades. Infractors should have grenades built in as well. Demonettes do not get grenades. Of course. They do get +1 to their charge rolls, though. And a leadership of 6. They have Space Marine leadership. My Rhino gets to drop people out of it as though it did a normal move if it advanced. That's only really if I want to put Noise Marines in it. That's all that matters. If I want to scout, I'll just chuck my scout people in it. They didn't change Thrill Seekers either, did they? Yeah, they didn't change Thrill Seekers, so I fully understand it. It's fine. Command point plays, all the basics in command and movement. Shooting has the bonus of Uncanny Reaction for an extra -1 to hit on any of my models on field, including my Rhino, which is hilarious, but Rhinos have smoke, so why not just use smoke? Charge phase. Till the end of the phase, your unit is eligible to declare a charge and turn it once it advanced or fell back. This is just to make the demons charge after an advance or fall back. Which is whatever. The fight phase is where literally all my stuff is. Dark Apparitions, which I'm probably never going to use, is the uppy downy for 2 CP. Ecstatic Slaughter. Yeah, the Legion of Excess unit has to kill a unit, and then an ally within 6 inches of it that is not within engagement range of 1 or more enemy units. Oh, so this allows me to make another charge attempt if I fail. So I can technically re-roll charge. And then, if I fail the reroll, I can just do this for a 3rd reroll. That's kind of crazy. As long as he's within 6. But then again, my Demonettes aren't killing much. I think this is more if I have, like, Shalaxi or a Keeper of Secrets on the field, which... That's not what I run. Although, so, points-wise, I think I can run 2 Keepers of Secrets in lieu of Fulgrim, and I think it runs about the same. Because it's just in reverse. Because the Keepers of Secrets have sustain on all their weapons. So I just have to keep Infractors kind of close to them. Or the Demon Princes. They don't get fights first, though, like Fulgrim does. But that's the one that lets me charge. I need to look at charge, because does the charge move give them fights first, or does the charge and the charge phase give them fights first? Either way. Ecstatic Slaughter. That's that one. Sustained by Agony is specifically for Demonettes, I think? Well, it's for any of them, but Demonettes get D3+3 models back. So long as an Emperor's Children unit kills an enemy unit within 6 inches of the Demonettes. I kind of like this detachment because there's only like 2 command point ploys that I would actually use. The -1 to hit, and then the forced charge after death. And even that one's not going to be constant, which means I don't use a lot of command points all that often. Oh, enjoy your workout. Thanks for dropping in. Let me take a look at something. Fulgrim, 340 points. Keeper Secrets, 270. So I'd be able to keep her and then, like, maybe another Rhino. Or maybe some Tormentors. She's not as good as him at killing stuff, though. Which is weird. I guess her AP is super high. That's kind of a thing. Like, all of her AP is 3. And then she has passive -1 to hit built in. Ugh. Alright. So the plasma should be dry now. Let's get Necromancer Cloak. Where did I put it? Is it already out? Yes. Like, I think there's play in the Carnival of Excess. I just don't... I'm not, like, built in for it, though. Demonettes get Scout? I don't think they do. Do any of these get Scout? Because there's other demons that I don't use. Ooh. Seekers. I think they're too expensive. No, they're 80 points. That's actually 10 points less than Demonettes, and they get Scout 9. That's pretty good. There is a type of model in the Daughters of Cain line that's just a bunch of Daughters of Cain on horseback. And then in the Slaanesh Hedonites line, there is actually, like, mounted on crazy looking, like, ostrich lizard demons. There is some play trying to make some demons. I don't want it to feel overwhelmingly gray because we're gonna go back over with the edge highlight with the short truce that I'm pretty sure I've got. So we do like little chippy moments up here at like a slightly more gray. Damn, got a classic running for the music over on Twitch right now. Who does he think he is? Just a little taste. Taste. I feel like I'm coming up on the point of wanting to re-binge watch the old seasons of Aqua Teen Hunger Force. Get the Brood Witch episode in. Yes. Taste. Dumber dolls with the doll that wants to kill itself. Alright, I should have So Flat Chartreuse. Boom. We use it to hit highlights. Simple. Still not 100% sure what we're doing with the bases for these guys. I did the crackle paste on the leader. But, like, I keep looking at it, and I keep not liking it. Just like, eh. the very least, I did kind of play my carnival stuff over at your place, Ran. So, like, I got some of the rules, like, fresh in my head. I mean, watching Noise Marines shred that many Space Marines in one go was kind of awesome. Still not as good as one Forge Fiend doing the exact same thing. Holy God. There's a reason people use Forge Fiends as much as they do now in Thousand Suns. They're so much better than Mutalith Vortex Beasts. They just pop around a corner and just end lives. Let's start working on the blue a little more. So we've got a little bit of time. About an hour. Can't wait to show up and have the person who was like, yeah, definitely play your knights, be like, what the hell happened? If I'm gonna lose with something I enjoy. Well, I also have to double check points values of stuff so that I know exactly how much I can leave up in reserve out of this list. I do think it needs to be 2 squads of Demonettes, though. And I like the idea of 1 squad of Noise Marines, because it kind of makes playing along the border of the map very dangerous. Just have a squad of Noise Marines walk off the table edge. And just end a squad. double check that charge roll. Talking about in CSM. So in CSM, when you're talking about like Forge Fiends and stuff, it's a Warp Smith for the +1 to hit. Like, I play Soulforged. Soulforged is not the way to go if you're trying to... Oh, the Fellblade. With a Warp Smith? Where do you get the Fellblade from with the Warp Smith? What's happening? Are you talking about a Fellblade? What am I thinking of? The Fellblade's the Fellblade. I think I only get the charge bonus in the charge phase. I don't know, Warpsmith can't go in with... Are you talking about like the Warpsmith equivalent? Oh, you're talking about Horus. What's the rules for Warpsmiths? Or are you talking about playing legended models in modern 40k? Because I'm pretty sure the Horus Heresy models are still considered... They still have like the Legends rules, right? Because Warpsmiths in 40k, they give +1 to hit and they heal a little bit, which is good. All you have to do is have a really good platform with a lot of attacks, and it's worth it. That's why the things like Forge Fiends are so good with it. Like Forge Fiends, Defilers, Vindicators. Anything but a Helbert, basically. For a second there, I thought you were referring to like the Imperial Guard, like Shadow Sword style tank. Because I think there's one called a Fellblade. Like a Fell Sword or something. At which point, if you have access to a Tech Marine, maybe. Yeah. It's got a lot of guns, so yeah. Pairing it with a Warpsmith would be great. But that's if you're playing in a Legends match. In Soulforged, I usually drop a Warpsmith in. It stands next to the Forge Fiend, giving it +1 to hit at the top of the phase. The Warpsmith also has the upgrade that allows it to have full hit rerolls. if it tempting addendums. And then when it addendums to full tier, it becomes hitting on 2s, full hit rerolls, and then if there's a Hellbrute nearby, lethal and sustained. At 10 strength, up to 12 if Vastor is nearby. At +1 to wound. So into most things, it's wounding on 2-ups. Like, it's a pretty good combo. It's a crazy good stack, and it's a lot of damage output, but it's very hard to play Soulforged and actually get points. Soulforged gets jailed too easily on the back line, because that's where they want to stay. The only brawler units they have for the front lines are Hellbrutes and Defilers. Which is not that great. Because if you put a Mauler Fiend up there, it's usually dead. Like, I've yet to be able to use a Mauler Fiend in a situation where it's like, I need this to hold this point, and it doesn't just immediately die. Yep, full rerolls from Tempting Addendum, +1 to wound because of Soulforged, and then +2 to strength to all ranged weaponry if Vastor's nearby. Because Vastor's really good. Like, you usually want to take Vastor. He's, I think, 5 points or 10 points more than a regular Demon Prince with wings, and he's just way better. I know a guy who runs Vastor without needing Vastor. Like, he doesn't use Vastor as what you would expect. He actually runs him like a winged Demon Prince and just sends him in. He'll Rapid Ingress him in the back line to go for enemy tanks. He's great. He's such a good unit now in Chaos Space Marines. His aura of -1 to hit. Hazardous on ranged weapons. He's way too funny. Like, it's cool to combo, and when I played against that, one of the high-end Death Guard players, that's what I played. I had that list. And I was hitting him hard. Like, he was watching so many squads of, like, Poxwalkers and Nurglings just die instantly. But he had so many. And, like, I couldn't move forward, because if I move forward, he just sends the Nurglings in. My blast weapons become useless into them. Which is kind of why people who utilize Forge Fiends try to do the Gatling guns more often than not. Because at least the Gatling guns you can do into your own combat. And they're not the worst. I mean, I don't like them, but... I mean, it works. I think, honestly, the only way Soulforged would work is kind of how someone figured it out early on, but then they decided to change their thought process. It would be three defilers. Like, Mauler Fiends aren't hard to deal with. I've run a Mauler Fiend so many times into so many different people, and I have watched them get dealt with so easily. It's just like... I don't know. I feel like Mauler Fiends aren't as big and scary as they should be. They feel just like a minor nuisance. So I feel like Defilers are just... They're so much more brawly, right? Like, they're able to get in. They're pretty quick in general. They have the Scuttler ability to... The problem is they're just huge. Declaring charge, player declare charge. Charging unit, charge. Has charge. Makes charge. Have charge, has been charged. Charge bonus. Bestowed on a unit that makes a charge move. So that unit, until the end of the turn, they... Oh, I can get fights first. If I charge this way. Charge move, return, it has not charged. Part of a... Yeah, okay. It's until the end of the turn. Defiler. CSM. 8-inch move. You have the ability to go over walls. 4-inch tall. You're rocking probably like a las cannon. Maybe a flamer. And then you get your cannon, which is D6 plus 3. Hitting on 3s, 10 minus 1 for 3. It's not great, but you can increase the AP to 2 for 3 damage each. 48-inch range. You can make it plus 1 to hit there. Plus 1 to hit also rolls into, I believe, your melee, which... Your melee... you'd probably go with... No, I wouldn't go with Scourge. Your melee is just 5 attacks that are Strength 16, AP 3, D6 plus 1. That's insane. They're 14 wounds a pop. T10. Like, they're good. 190 points versus a Mauler, which I think is like 180 or something. I don't know. So it's 60 more points. It's a little bit of a struggle. But I think they hit just as many times and just as hard as Mauler Fiends. It's just the amount of space that's going to take. Because a Mauler Fiend is the same size base. Actually, I'll just show you. Now, you don't have to put bases under them. This is my Twin Link Las Cannon and Scourge combo. It's a Defiler base size. I think I need to hit this with Zamasi Desert still. So it's like, you have to deal with 3 of these on the field. You don't have this much room to start the game with, so I think you only put 2 of these out, maybe 1. And then you put 2 in reserves and have them pop out on like the board edges. On like the far sides of your base. But yeah, this is my Defiler. Super fun. The only reason I built him like that is because I don't like the currently existing Defiler. FNP 6 is not. Like, that's the 1 command point, right? It's not a good way to go. I feel like FNP 6 is never worth the command point. It requires you to Battle Shock for it to be FNP 5, right? Like, it's FNP 6 into 5 depending on a situation. If you can get it to 5, I think that's how you want to do it. But if you're only on a 6... I don't think you spend the command point ever. I don't like the old one. The old one is literally the one that they released back when it first came out in like 4th or 5th. They haven't updated it at all. And then they dropped the Soul Grinder, which the lower half of the Soul Grinder is the Defiler. But they gave it better armor plates. Which makes me mad because those are really cool looking armor plates compared to the Defiler armor plates. So, like, why not just semi-update the Defiler using the Soul Grinder upgrades? But they felt so hard to get, especially for like a kid who was trying to just find parts for things, just trying to, you know, play the game with models at a time when blast templates were king, and we didn't really have blast templates outside of like the near impossible to find Defiler. So it felt good every game I ever played where Space Marine would be like, check out my Vindicator, and then I'd be dead in like 2 turns. And then finally the day came, the Defilers dropped. I think I bought 3 Defilers in one go, but then I took parts from one of them. At the time, you could upgrade the amount of melee weapons you had on it, and it would just give you +1 attack in melee. And I didn't really care for like the 1 las cannon and the 1 missile rack, right? Like that felt pointless. So what I did was I took the basic legs off of one of them. I cut the ball holder thing, like the joint holder, off of the leg frame, and then I glued it where the gun frames were on both the other ones, like those the Sposon sides. And then I just had the extra 2 legs coming off the sides of the top one, so it would have the extra melee weapons. I just did that with both, because like, why not? 2 attacks extra each per Defiler. The only thing you really cared about shooting was the battle cannon, and I think they even said if you stood still, you could shoot everything, but if you moved, you'd have to choose to shoot either the battle cannon or like the big gun. And it was like, or the battle cannon or your like side guns. It's like, why would I not shoot the battle cannon always? You had to pay the points to give it indirect, which, yes. Why would I not do that? I'm surprised. Well, I mean, we have Trader Guard, I guess. Is that the ones you're talking about? Chaos Guard, get some love, just one detachment for normal guard. I could see that. Because, like, if you consider that GSC has a guard detachment, and then they also have like a Tyranid detachment, it would be kind of cool to have like a CSM, you know, buy the Astra Militarum Codex and you can take 1,000 points of Imperial Guard alongside your Space Marines kind of situation. Even if they kind of trash it up by being like, the entire detachment's built around causing battle shocks, it's like, oh. Guard can't have access to dark packs. Oh. Sacrifice D3 guard out of a squad of infantry nearby to gain the lethal or sustain on 5 when you dark packed. It's like, oh, alright. Now we're talking. They could give you guys the thing my Zangor detachment has in Thousand Suns. When a guard captain dies out of a squad, pay a command point, turn it into a chaos spawn. Absolutely useless, but great for flavor. Maybe cause battle shocks in an area when it happens. Oh yeah, always something to paint. I'm spending most of my time tonight just going over the rules more and more, double checking things. Spicing up my knowledge and understanding of stuff. That way we're ready. I mean, everyone does. You guys saw the Wayland Wargame stuff, right? That post. Them doing their version of Spotify Rap. You've spent 7,000 hours this year avoiding painting. No. I have swapped. I don't know. I'm just not feeling my Chaos Knights right now. Like, I've played a ton of games on them, but nothing's really clicked that I don't have the moments of like, yeah, but over all the games I've played in these last couple weeks, I've had that feeling with my Emperor's Children Carnival list. And, like, I'm not expecting to get top table at a tournament that involves several of, like, the top international players, apparently. But if I'm gonna lose, I'm gonna do it with a list that I kind of have some fun with. So yeah, we're gonna play Emperor's Children. In particular, my Carnival list. With Fulgrim. We're doing the whole 9 yards of this isn't gonna work. But at least we're gonna see some craziness. I just need to be a little more patient than normal. I need to be okay being down by like 10 points or whatever, because you can still make it up so long as you have a good turn 5. And we'll just have to go from there. New data slate's supposed to be this coming week. They did just drop the Grotmist attachment for IG. So that's a thing. Maybe we spice up the green that I used. I don't know. I don't feel... I mean, I guess the green on the shoulder pads and stuff is fine. It's supposed to feel ghostly and not, like, super bright. I'm hoping they roll back some of the adjustments that they made to the Thousand Suns. I get trying to rein in the Zangor detachment to prevent things like MVBs wounding on 2s with like everything they have. That's crazy. I get it. But come on. You literally put the detachment together with the explicit interest in making MVBs and Chaos Spawn more viable. And then you took that away from them in like the first week of it being out. Yeah, probably on a Wednesday. Like, a lot of the lists I'm seeing come out of the Thousand Suns, like, tournament play are just some of the least interesting things to play. And that really does feel very sad. There's a local guy who plays him who's really good with him. And from the sound of it, every time one of like the people I know play him at these GTs and RTTs, every time he's setting up, he just looks like he's defeated. Like, he keeps putting all of his Terminators on the field, and he just has the look on his face like, I really wish this wasn't happening. I really wish I didn't need to put like 20 Terminators on the field every time I play anyone. Like, he was so happy when he was playing like these crazy lists with tons of like cool stuff. Now he's just like, ugh. What have they done to my boy? I think it's 6, right? Because today's the 6th day of Grotmas. Although, the countdown could be for the data slate, right? Oh, no, it's 5. Okay. So, yeah, 5 days, which... 5 data slates. What do you think happens? What do you think we get? Like, what needs it? The Thousand Suns Grotmas detachment from last year is apparently big. Like, it's good. People use it now. They do the stat check Terminators, and then they do a bunch of Demon Princes. And every single Demon Prince is basically all, like, +1 to wound rolls or rerolls of wounds. Like, they're just really good. You put Terminators on mid-objective, and you make the entire midfield yours. And then you just send in all these little, these Demon Princes that are wounding you on 2s with, like, everything they have. Like, no one likes that. So I don't think K-Suns get it. I think Votan? I mean, Votan just got their Codex, so I don't know. I don't know if Votan get it. Maybe Aldari? Maybe Aldari gets something now. I could see IG getting it. I could, because IG was getting a little stagnant. If they're going poster boys, though, can't wait for that extra Space Marine detachment. Adding in yet another to the pile. I could see Tau. I could see a Tau one. I don't know about Necrons. Maybe. If they do drop a Space Marine detachment, they should call it, please stop playing Gladius, it's too strong. We made a mistake, please. No, they won't add super heavies anytime soon. I think at best the rumor that maybe they convert them to plastic would be a thing, but there's no reason for them to add more. They need to add things that are at the level of which people are willing and interested to spend money, right? And if they're constantly just like, yo, you want to buy this super heavy? Guess what I'm not purchasing? Like, even if it's one of those things where it's like, dude, if you get this super heavy, you just play that in one squad and you'll actually do kind of okay. It's like, I don't... don't want to do that. Like, at best, I feel like even like the mediums that are currently resin only, if they could just get those changed to plastic. I want to play a Porifon. The Knight Porifon or whatever it is. The one with the missile rack on the back of it. If the Porifon was easier to get your hands on, I would be running one of those in Infernal Lance. Give it sustained. Make it ignore cover and then just unload. Screaming nerf this. View. I think we'll get done this Wind Rider red, and then we'll call it because I gotta get moving. Short day. Did a little bit of thinking about tomorrow. Things I gotta do before I go to sleep tonight. Involving mathing out what I can put in reserves. Because reserves, I feel like, is a lot more important when you've got Fulgrim on hand. That is way too big of a base to have a ton of things on the field. I kind of like him being on field because the lethal range on him is just way too big. He does have the issue, though, of like an aircraft, right? The word was, in some of the last editions, if you ran an aircraft, your biggest fear was that an enemy player kind of read the, I guess, the dissertation we'll go with. They've read the dissertation on where to stand on the board to make it impossible for your aircraft to stay in play. Like, they know. They know how to do it. Because you have to move your aircraft. And they already see where it's facing. So they just stand in, like, a specific spot and spread out. And then in your next turn, your aircraft is leaving combat. You cannot do anything about that. And to a degree, you can kind of control where Fulgrim can go because he has the giant pie plate base. You just position well enough that I'm like, well, I can't go that way. So I guess I'll just not do anything. He's cool. I like him. He's just overcosted. He's too spiky when it comes to killing monsters and vehicles. Like, you can't rely on it, which that's already a problem with the entire army in the first place. I think there's a world where you go Fulgrim and you go Chosen. The Chosen of Slaanesh. And I think the goal in that world is the only other leader you take is maybe Lucius. And you keep Lucius, like, safe and on his own for a while. And you have Fulgrim running around the field at +1 to wound. Just straight murdering everything. With, I think he either gets +1 or rerolls, or he gets both. It's just, I know it's good. Like, it's not the worst. But that's what you do. You just have Fulgrim full tilt with all these bonuses just running around the field killing everything. And then the moment he dies, you bust out Lucius. Lucius gets a kill. And then all of a sudden he's getting all the +1s to wounds and all the rerolls and everything. And Lucius with pluses and rerolls is absolutely insane. Alright, a little bit more for my Raptors. Again, I'm still not sold on the basing. I might actually shave, like, all this off of this guy and then rethink what we're doing. I don't know. I am telling you, they held off on the Hellbrutes because Hellbrutes are apparently hard to get your hands on right now. I mean, I think you can buy them now. But I think they're just reassessing what goes in the Hellbrute box. And then maybe next year at some point they'll announce it. So that there's a Hellbrute variant specifically for every detachment, and then you can just buy the one Hellbrute box and get it. Because the current situation of the Hellbrute is you look at the list and it's filled with guns no one gives a crap about. You do not equip it with like 90% of the weapons they tell you about, and I think it's because they're just not interesting. Usually you just go dual melee on it, because you can go 2 heavy flamers, get your +2 attacks, you're fine. You have a little brawly knot. You don't need to take a las cannon that's going to miss 90% of the time. You just don't need it. So I think they're going to try to make it so that in a single box you get the like noise knot, so that you have like some form, like it doesn't even need to be a ranged weapon. That's the thing with the Hellbrute. Imagine a Hellbrute for Slaanesh that is just a Hellbrute with a bunch of speakers on the outside of it, and it just walks places, and it does like the Mutilith Vortex Beast mortals to infantry. It does like -1 to hit to all enemies within like 12 inches of it. Like it does crazy things, and it just goes. And then you have the like chain fist, chain axey version for the World Eaters. Like it's really good at melee. Maybe it has like weird grenade launchery things or something built into it as well, so it has like some ranged potential. Like the Thousand Suns one is just the Osiren Hellbrute. Like, give me an Osiren Hellbrute. That'd be cool. And then, yeah, you get your Chaos Space Marine one, which is probably just dual fists or something. Death Guard would have, like, maybe, like, dual twin-linked auto cannons or something, or, like, rad weapons, or just the Plague Spitters. Just a really big, heavy Plague Spitter on one arm, and then just, like, I don't know, a hand on the other. Just a fist. Like, something that makes you go, like, I'll take it, but I don't need it. And then just choosing not to take it if you don't want. Because you already got bloat drones. These are just slightly more durable bloat drones. That are not as fast, I think. It's just it would be the fusion, right? It would have the flamer that bloat drones get on one side, and then it would have the lawnmower on the other side. That's all it is. It's just both bloat drones in one, slightly slower. And that's all you need. And then they don't need the, oh, do you want dual heavy bolters? No one wants dual heavy bolters. Do you want dual autocannons? Dual autocannons were only useful when you could prime targets in Death Guard when you shot them with it. That was literally the only time you would use dual autocannons. Outside of that, no. You want you want twin link las cannon? No. I don't want a twin link las cannon. I don't want to waste my time rolling a single dice so that my opponent can roll the 4+ invuln to stop it. I don't want that. It was just so much crap. Do you wanna hazardous yourself with the plasma cannon? No. No, I do not. It's worse than the Forge Fiend variant? No, thank you. Yep, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for chilling. Probably won't stream over the weekend. Might stream a little bit next week. I'm not going to be back till late. So for those of you who know me on the Spawncast, I won't be here for the Spawncast tomorrow night because I'll be getting back as it ends, because I think I get out of the tournament halfway through and it takes an hour to get home. So there you go. I will say this. I played the Marvel Cosmic Invasion game. It's okay. Probably not worth the price. Not a lot of replay value. You get maybe like 2 hours of fun out of it and then you're done. It's cool though. Nice and detailed. You know, fun characters in it. It's interesting. But, I don't know. I didn't feel like it was worth the price. And then I played Routine. Routine is great. If you enjoyed Alien Isolation and you're looking for a horror game that is very stressful, this is it. And it doesn't hold your hand. We made it a very far way into the first chapter of the game without me knowing that if you look straight down, you see your ID and your ID number. The whole way out, there were things that were like, yo, put your ID in this. And I was like, I don't know my ID number. There's no inventory system. All you have to do is look straight down, and there it is. It's right there on your chest. Which was kind of cool. But yep, thanks for chilling. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for talking. See you guys next time.